Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. I apologize for my attire. I didn't plan a speech for tonight, and I have had moments where I wonder, what is a lawyer doing in this conversation? And then I realized that we need to be in this conversation. There are some serious legal implications for the people living in the downtown Eastside and for this city of the plan. There's a lot of commentary that I could make on a variety of topics, but I'm going to try to focus on the SRA bylaw and to a lesser extent on the definition of social housing, as it is abundantly clear that that is being addressed by many people here tonight. What I will say is, please don't pass this amendment tonight. Stop on the SRA bylaw. Go back to the drawing board and come up with something that will work and will be effective. The amendments that are proposed will do nothing to stop the displacement that is on my doorstep every day. They will not protect low-income renters, and the improvements to creating self-contained units and the health improvements that go along with that, which I understand the city is in favor of and I'm not against. You'll never catch me saying advocating for someone to live on the street or advocating for someone to live in a crappy SRO. But those advantages will not be seen by the people who need them most unless you stop and you don't pass this SRA amendment tonight. The Downtown Eastside Plan and these bylaw amendments are based on a desire for social housing, but an acknowledgement within the Downtown Eastside Plan that funding from senior levels of government is not necessarily forthcoming at this time. It is also based on asking the provincial government for jurisdiction over rent control. And to that I ask, why hasn't this already been done? How can we be pushing forward a plan? How can you be pushing forward a plan on the basis that we will ask permission to provide rent control within the hotels? I know that the Carnegie Action Project has been asking for rent control within the hotels, and I know that Pivot Legal Society has been asking for it for years. Why are you pushing forward a plan that will create neighborhood change at an exponential rate without having gotten that power? And we don't acknowledge actually that the city doesn't have jurisdiction to control rents within the hotels, but if the city truly feels that you don't have it, why have our request been falling on deaf ears for years, and now this plan is already moving ahead? So what we ask is that you do not push for the SRA amendments, do not push for SRA upgrades until you can actually put some protections into place for people and keep people in their housing. Displacement is real, these evictions are real, unconscionable bargains are real. People come to my office all the time. I got evicted, I don't know why. I could fight it, but I'm pretty sure they'll just evict me again next month because they're clearing out every single person on income assistance in my building. Coming with agreements saying, I felt like I had to sign this because I just knew they were going to evict me. It's happening, it is happening faster, and nothing in these amendments is going to stop it. The people who come to me, few of them get housed, many of them move on to friends' couches, some of them go to the shelters. That's more expensive in the long run. Even if you don't care about the people, you should care about the money. What I should make absolutely clear is, at least with one corporate owner in the Downtown Eastside, the amendments will not stop them. They don't need your subsidy. And they do want to exclude anyone who is on income assistance, as it's not a viable business plan for their operation. Even with the subsidy that we're talking about creating self-contained units, if you do the math, if you take a 36-unit SRO and you make it self-contained, you've got half the units, now you've got 18 units, and by the best definition of social housing, you now have 6 units at the rates that can be afforded by people on income assistance. The rest of those units are no longer affordable to people because they can be charged out at a rate that is reasonable within the community. So now we'll go to, why is neighborhood change going to start happening exponentially? And what does that have to do with the City Council? These bylaws and the failure to enact actual proper protections for the hotels encourage and turn a blind eye to very serious violations of the Human Rights Code of British Columbia. People on income assistance, people are being discriminated against based on their lawful source of income. They're being evicted, They are being told that they are not desirable within the buildings. This is going to happen more quickly. The Residential Tenancy Act allows for exceptional rent increases based on the amount of rent charged for a similar unit in the same neighborhood. As rents increase, and they are increasing already, housing will be lost to exceptional rent increases. And I understand that I'm out of time.